Okay, you're at Auto Sports Fox Chapel location, and we got a kind of a neat guest for you today. Really, really unusual car. You won't find too many of these. Only produced 1 year, 1968, and it's a California Special GT Mustang. Only sold in California at that point in time. Really neat car. Obviously, it's green. It's char green, whatever they called it at that point in time. It does have the turn signal indicators in the scoop part of the hood. Does have the hood pins the way they came. A lot of these cars were pieces of Shelby put together. Whenever they made the California Special, they used the Shelby hood pins, the Shelby fog lights on it, the Shelby side scoops that you'll see, Shelby deck lid, and they started out as a Mustang GT, and it's a very unusual car. Going across the front of this guy, the gaps on both sides of the hood are absolutely as straight and linear as can possibly be, clean up to the windshield cowl area. Everything is nice as can be. Front bumper, chrome is really, really nice. A little tiny bit of a scratch here. I don't know what from, but it is. The original lights on the grill. They don't have the covers. We do not have the covers for them, but those are the original lights that came on this car, and the original grill surround on it. Still has a California black plate on it. Front area underneath the front bumper, there's no pulled marks or dents or scrapes or anything on it. It's just as nice as can be. It does retain the original 14-inch road wheels that came on this car with the GT center caps, because these were a Mustang GT to start life. This car has the original wiper arms, aftermarket blades, a more modern design windshield wiper blade on it. There's no scrapes or marks on the windshield. It is a tinted windshield in it. Trim around the windshield is nice and straight. Don't see any marks or indentures whatsoever on it. Gap from the front fender to the door is just as nice and straight as you could possibly hope for. Remote mirror, no deterioration on the chrome on it. Wing area, same way, no deterioration whatsoever. No marks on the roof, no indentures whatsoever. I'm really trying to pick something here. I found something. There's a chip right here that you can almost not see, but it's on the edge of the hood. Going to need a little tiny bit of a brush touch there. Other than that, the rest of the paint on the fenders and the hood, as far as we've gone back so far, is just as nice as can be. Needs no attention whatsoever, absolutely none. Door alignment, you can see to the front fender, is just as straight and nice as can be. Lines up on the back the same way. Of course, your GT California Special scoop, a Shelby item that was added, and that makes it part of the California Special. No chips, no marks on it. It appears to be the original wipe and whiskers on this car. I don't believe they've ever been replaced, nor do they need attention. The rubbers on them are still resilient. There's no reason to do anything with them. Alignment of the front to the back window, just as straight and nice as can be. You can see the door opens and closes just as it should. Oh boy, going back here, I got to find something on here for you. That is a little ding here. Broom or something through the years fell against it. You probably won't see it in the video or in the still photography, but I'm telling you, it's there. I'm trying to be as critical as I can with this, so whenever you get this vehicle, you know exactly what you're getting. There's no surprises, and there's a chip there. Is it possible I missed one somewhere? Yeah. But I'm going to try to point out every little imperfection that I can on this car. Okay, rocker panel molding. No heel marks, nothing on it. It's real nice and straight. Fender lip molding in the front is really nice. No dents or anything, same as on the back. Real nice sharp edges on the inside. This thing is not some rot bucket that was glued back together again. It's a very solid, nice integrity of the original body of this car, in which you'll see in the photography that Anthony has, the floor pans and the undercarriage of this vehicle. Really, really as original a car as you're ever going to find somewhere. Back window, trim around the back window. I don't see anything at all. The trim is just perfect. There's no marks on the back window. The hatch shelf itself is original and nice, and you'll see, we'll open the doors and show you the original interior in this car, because it is original. It's not been redone. As far as I can remember, there's one little tiny mark, a perforation, very, very minute, in the center of the seat part of the front bucket, driver's side. Other than that, and you're going to have to look to see it. Back by the window here, just from age, at the bottom of this trim strip at the base of the windshield, the paint is starting to chip there. No, it's not rotted through or rusted up or anything like that. Can it be cleaned out and brush touched? Yeah. Or you could paint it if you wanted, but I don't know why, because there's not that much to, you'll see it's just a very, very minute brush touch along the edge there, about a 4-inch section. Just from age, it appears the paint is starting to crack at the very top of this quarter panel driver's side. Paint cracking here also. Again, I don't think you'll see this in the photography, but I'm telling you it's there. You have to get it in the right light, but you'll see it is there. Again, a little bit of, I don't know what I want to call it. It looks like the paint, maybe it cracked at some point of its life on top here, and then when it was wet sanded and buffed, most of it went away. California special designation on the left quarter panel, just the way it should be. Going down the side of this car, as you look down the side of this thing, Anthony, get a shot going down the side. You can see how straight everything is. Nothing's warped or warbled or anything on the quarter panels, the door, or the front fender. It's just as linear as can possibly be. Around the back of the car, we got our Shelby fiberglass rear deck that came as part of this, and obviously this is part of that package also. The sides of the quarter panels in the back have to match the flare on the Shelby deck. Paint is really, really nice. There's no marks or anything that I can see on the deck lid itself. There's another mark right here that needs brush touch, right here. Another one right here. It's right on the very edge. Looks like something maybe scraped down across there. The rest of it is fine. The chrome of the back bumper is just as nice as can be. Your sequential turn signal enclosures, the chrome around them is just spot on. Can't be any nicer. Your GT Mustang gas cap in the back is really, really nice. The chrome on the back bumper is flawless. And again, no dents or marks or scrapes or scratches or anything. Absolutely nothing. It's like a mirror when you look at it. Twin exhaust tips, just the way it would have come from the factory. Backup lights, the chrome around the backup lights is just as nice as you'd ever want to find anywhere. You know what, when we're back here, I'm going to open this guy up so we can show you the trunk. Okay, I believe this to be the original trunk mat that came with this car. I'm not going to tear it up and show you, but I'm sure Anthony has in the photography. You will see that it is the original floor pans. Nothing has been deteriorated or compromised through the years. Original spare tire, original cover on the spare tire. I don't know where the jack is. I'm sure it's hidden down underneath here somewhere. Yeah, it's back. Oh yeah, it's wrapped up in the bag back there. It has the original bag yet from it. But you can see that the car is not, it's never been bumped from what we can tell. You know, there's no indication that there's ever any trauma that was suffered on this vehicle in its entire life. Not that we can see anyway. Okay, passenger side. Okay, California special designation, just the way it was. Forgot to mention the trim pieces around your side marker lights. On that side were absolutely flawless, as they are on this side the same way. By the way, this thing, and you'll see in the photography, there is no, this isn't some mud special. This thing is all tin. You can put a magnet anywhere you want on it, and it's going to stick. Same thing on this side as was on the other side. Again, it's barely chipped, but it is chipped there, and you're going to have to brush touch that. Crack in the paint here. Again, we're talking about a car that's how old? So it has a little bit of a crack in the paint here. Another crack right here. Another crack here. And again, this is stuff that you're probably not going to notice, but I'm pointing it out. It is there. It does exist. Again, it's so minuscule that you're probably not even going to see it in the still photography. Same thing on this side, original sharp edges, California Special GT designation. Look at this. I mean, when can you close on an old muscle car a door from 2 inches? You do that with a Porsche, not an old Mustang. We'll show you some better photography of the interior. We'll get it outside where you can see it better. But again, the original interior, original dashboard, which, by the way, does not have any cracks or marks or shrinkage or anything else to it. And it is the original padded dash that came with this car. Let's see here. Another broom mark here. Something fell against it. Linearity of the windows. Look at that. You can't get any better than that. That's as sweet as it can possibly get. Original equipment antenna came on this guy. Door on this side and a quarter panel just as straight as can possibly be. Anthony will get another shot down the side of it here from the front this time. You can see how linear everything is. And look at the gap. We already showed you the gap on the back of the door. Gap on the front of the door is just as sweet as you'd ever going to find anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. Correct antenna with the correct base even. How about that? Geez, I don't see. Brush touch. A couple more brush touches. But again, no reason to paint anything. Brush touch, that's it. And this is the way we got this car. I mean, we didn't do any paint work on it other than a complete recon of the car and just a complete go-over, buff it and glaze it and everything. That's what you're looking at. I mean, it appears to be mostly original paint on this car, even a lot of it. Same thing on the front fender, nice and sharp. All the striping is nice on it. There's no dents or marks on any of the striping down the sides of the car. Rocker panel molding the same on this side as they were on the other side. There's no dent in any of the trim rings that I saw. Again, side marker lights just as nice as can be in the rear and in the front there. You can see under the bumper. It's just a nice car. This thing has a lot of integrity to it. There's a smudge here. I'm not sure what this was. Somebody's foot or something. Somebody must have put their foot up there to tie their shoe. Okay, original Shelby hood pins. And there we go. And you can see how clean the engine compartment of this vehicle is. It does have the Shelby style brace across the front. This thing is a 302 4-barrel, not a 2-barrel. This guy is a 4-barrel motor from the factory, which you can see from the Marty report. High flow radiator, factory air conditioning with an updated compressor on it. It does have power steering. It does have power disc brakes in the front. This car runs and drives and does everything as it should. There's no surprises with this guy. You can drive it anywhere you want to go. Dual horns in the front. The radiator core support, from what we can tell, has never been disrupted. Geez, underhood area is absolutely beautiful. All the trim on the car is the same way. It's just a very, very nice car. There's nothing that we can really say negative about this guy. I mean, it's really nice. It's a real rare opportunity to buy something like this. 1 year of production, a car with this much integrity at this age, with a 302 4-barrel, power steering, power brakes, factory air conditioning. Oh, tilt wheel. We're going to show you that outside too, but it does have a tilt wheel in it from the factory, AM radio. The gauges all work. It does have a tach in it, instrument cluster from the factory. Geez, I don't know what else I can say about the car. I mean, once we get outside, we'll give you a better indication of all the amenities on the interior of the car, but it's just a very rare find. And it's available in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania from Autosport. This is a car that if you're in the market for a very rare Mustang, a collectible, this is a guy that you really should take a look at. Other than the few little imperfections that I pointed out, someone could take care of that. Spend a little more time wet sanding and buffing this guy. You don't have to do anything to the interior, mechanically. The undercarriage, which you'll see, is just flawless. And you could take it to the next level and make it a $60,000 car. It's a very, very rare find. Give Anthony a call. It's in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania, Auto Sport. Okay. Yep. Okay, we're going to go for a ride in our California Special. Okay, this is a cold start. You just watched us do the video on the car, so we're going to start it up, go for a short ride around the block here, a residential area, so we got to use some restraint and try to show you what's working and what isn't in the vehicle. I don't really know yet. Horn works, I know that. Let's start it and see what happens. Looks like the radio might work. Radio does work. Look at that. All right, automatic. Let's go for a ride in this guy. All right, like I say, we're in a residential area. Went right into second gear, went right into high gear. Nice, firm, positive shifts. Goes down the road straight as an arrow. Of course, this road's about as straight as a snake, but it's not wandering anywhere. The car goes right where you aim it. Fuel gauge is working. Speedometer's working. We're going 30 mile an hour at this point. We know the radio works. The other gauges, I think, can't tell. I don't know if the clock's working or not. It might not be. No, we don't care. We'll get around this fire plug here. Car has a nice sound to it. It has a real nice throaty, deep sound to it from the exhaust system that's on it. I believe it has a couple of Flowmaster mufflers on it. Nice car. Real tight, no shakes, rattles, squeaks, nothing. The interior in this car is really exemplary. Dashboard, it's not cracked up or anything. Headliner, the vinyl on that is just as sweet as can be. Overhead console, I love these things. I've only seen a couple of these in my lifetime, but a friend of mine had one of these in an S-Code GT way back in '67 that had it. And this car does have it. It's a pretty well-optioned car. I can't think of anything else that you could get. You couldn't get power seats. You couldn't get power windows. But you can see everything is original in the interior of this car. It's not been redone or resprayed or redone in any way. Original carpeting, headliner, and nothing needs addressed either. This thing is just a sweetheart of a car. Okay, we good there? Yep. We're going to park it outside here, and we'll let it run for a second. I'll crack the gas a couple times. That way you'll be able to hear what the exhaust system sounds like. And then we'll open the doors and do a interior presentation. Be able to take a look now out in the sunlight. You can see how nice this interior really is. I mean, there's a little wear mark from somebody's elbow right here on the, but not cracked, not worn out or anything. It's just that there's a little bit of a wear mark on the die. One little perforation in the seat. You're really going to have to look to see it, but it's there. I'm telling you, it's there. But look at the interior of this car, the floors, the door panels, the headliner, the console, the gauges, the dashboard, the hat rack in the back. Everything on this car is just as fresh and clean as it was when it was new back in 1968. Yeah. Hell of a nice car. It's going to make somebody a really sweetheart of a cruiser. Here's a few cracks. Let me see, Anthony. There's a few cracks in the steering wheel. Yeah. There's a couple of very minute. I can't even put my fingernail in them. This one I can. But wear through the ages, you know, but it does have tilt wheel. I did mention that. The rubbers are all nice and fresh yet on this car. Uh, you'd be very, very hard pressed to find a much nicer 68 Mustang of any sort. And on top of that, you add that it's a California special, 1 year production only. Very, very, very rare car. Okay, there it is.